My name is Tia Bolden, known in the business and entrepreneurship world as the Tia Bolden. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I took the traditional route, went to school and majored in electrical engineering. And ironically, I have 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's in electrical engineering. While I was completing my master's, I secured a full-time manufacturing engineering position at NASA, the space place. While I was there, I met some amazing people. I made some great memories. But one thing that concerned me was that I had family and friends back home who meant the most to me. Why were those the people I was spending the least of my time with? At some point, I started to get tired of the rat race. It was in these moments that I started to realize that in order for something to change inside of my life, I have to change something inside of my life. And I went to my NASA computer. I began typing in how to make blank amount by blank age. And I stumbled across the largest online educational platform for digital success. I looked deeper into it, dove in. And exactly 2 years later, I utilized the education to walk away from a full-time NASA engineering career to become a full-time entrepreneur. I started to receive inspirational texts on the same phone that they said I couldn't be on at my desk. Every day I get to utilize my platform to create stories like this and people like you. That's my passion. That's my purpose. Because education will make you rich, but execution is what's going to make you wealthy. Drop a 777 in the chat box if that resonated with you. Good evening and welcome in, and welcome to tonight's introduction to Fire University. I hope that you all are feeling well. And the first thing I want to say is thank you for taking the time to be on here. Thank you for you sacrificing a little bit out of your evening to understand that we are in position for something greater. And if you believe that, drop me a 3 in the chat box. I'm not here to tell anybody to walk away from a job, but I will tell you that one stream of income is a little too close to none. And that's why we created Fire University. We realized that struggling people spend money. Rich people save money, but wealthy people, they learn how to invest and multiply their money. And that quote alone is the one thing that helped me move forward in this metropolis of greatness that I like to call Fire University. You see, Fire University is special to our hearts because it's created a home for multiple people. It's created a platform of digital and online success to now create greatness, not just for one person, but for anybody who truly applies themselves. Here in Fire University, we're a community of entrepreneurs who are committed to growing and diversifying our income through skill sets like options, like stocks, like crypto, like future, like investing, and more. And drop a 1 in the chat box if you know when we were younger, these skill sets seemed a little bit advanced. They seemed out of reach. So here in Fire University, our goal is simple. We want to help you reach your alpha state as a person through finances and spiritually by creating a culture of freedom and a community of impact that helps you by celebrating all success. And proudly, I've been a part of Fire University since it began back in 2018. And without a question, it's the best decision I've ever made. Now, people always ask me, Tia, how did you achieve freedom? How did you make the decision? How did you get to the point of being where you want to be? And I always tell them it was as simple as 1, 2, 3. Drop a 1, 2, 3 in the chat box if you know that you can see success in just that format. Because here in Fire University, we break down our blueprint into a 1, 2, 3 system. Number 1 is our education. That's where we learn. Drop a 4 in the chat box if you know that there is no earn if you don't learn first. So we teach you the concepts that you need to go from 0 to hero. Please don't feel like you not knowing enough makes you incapable of success with us, because learning is our flagship and is what we focus on. Our video lessons are short because I know your time is a priority. So we keep them 2 to 3 minutes max so that you can learn around your own schedule, not somebody else's. Drop a 2 if you understand that number 2 in our 1, 2, 3 system is our live sessions. There are people who say, I can watch a video all day, but who's going to help me real time when the market is moving? Who's going to teach me when something is happening? You can ride a still bike all day long at the gym, but it's not until you get on the moving one and balance yourself that you truly learn how to move forward. This is exactly why we have live sessions with experts inside of our field who are helping you and guiding you step by step throughout your journey. Now, step number three is one of my personal favorites. This is our scanners and apps. See, scanners do to the market what a cheat code does to a test. It makes it simpler for you to succeed. Our scanners are AI powered and they allow you to develop Wi Fi money at your own fingertips. Drop a three if you have a very important focus on your time right now. Because people who are time driven say, well, I have a lot of things going on. I'm doing this, I'm finishing school, I'm writing the book, I'm completing my podcast. And we say, you know what? Don't worry. Utilizing our scanners and apps, we're going to make it easier for you to succeed at what we have going on while not taking the majority of your time. And if that's something that appeals to you, drop a three in the chat box because here in Fire University, we understand that you can watch modules. We understand that you can hop on sessions. We understand that you can use scanners and apps, but sometimes you just want a little bit more reinforcement. Drop a five if you've ever wondered, who am I going to ask the questions to? Who's going to help me one on one? Where is this mentorship really going to come from? Because every day throughout the week, we put together an educational schedule to make sure that you have reinforcement behind your learning. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have foundational and interactive trainings to make sure you have a full understanding of these concepts and we're helping you live, giving you one on one to make sure that nothing is misconfused and nothing is out of clarity for you. And then on Fridays at 8 p.m., we've just added in something special. We teach stocks, futures, and cryptocurrency because there are some people who want money right now and others who want money for a lifetime. Drop a two if you understand that here in Fire University, both of those people can succeed. We don't leave anybody behind and we make sure that in our comprehensive program, there's something where every single type of person can find their own success. Now, this next part is where it gets exciting because a lot of people are hearing learn, learn, learn. But drop a five if you want to know a little bit about how you can earn. Once you start getting those concepts down, what does winning look like for you in the markets? What does online income feel like in your pockets or in your bank account? Because 4 times a week, here inside of Fire University, we have live trading sessions. Drop a dollar sign in the chat box if you understand. This is where we make money on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Shout out to Samaya Band. She's here on the call. We have our binary blitz. And binary is what we like to call money in minutes. For people who are saying, I don't have time to look at a chart, I don't have time to study a scanner, I don't have time to sit and watch videos, binary blitz is for you because you're getting in and out of the market in a 2 or 3 minute time frame. And as soon as that time frame is finished, you're able to see the fruits of your labor. It's quick, it's efficient, and you're able to see your results real time. Now, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 p.m., special shout out to my brother, Mr. Zion Latham, we have our stick up session where we're trading traditional currencies, identifying swing and day positions inside of the market, and generating long term success from day to day. Drop a dollar sign in the chat box for my brother Zion as well, because not only does he do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening time at 10 p.m., he hosts what we like to call Club Shift. And actually, for everybody who gets plugged in today, you'll get access to tonight's Club Shift session for yourself. Club Shift is fun, it's collaborative, it's a relaxed environment, but most importantly, it's profitable. We're giving live setups and enjoying ourselves together, seeing ourselves in and out of the market, and not making it too difficult, but attainable for the regular everyday person. And last but not least, opening bell with my brother, Mr. John Hardison. I'm sure he's on the call as well. Every Wednesday at 9:15 in the morning, one of the most popular trading sessions in the world. We trade live with the S&P, NAS 100, and US 30 to capitalize on real market movement, just like Wall Street coming to all streets. If you could see yourself successful and you see my brother drop the screenshot in the chat box of just a couple of wins taking place this week alone, if you could see yourself succeeding somewhere inside of this system, drop a 444 in the chat box because I know for a fact that you're looking at these sessions saying, okay, this is great. I see that they're hosted 4 times a week, but are people really winning? Are people actually succeeding? Men lie, women lie, but numbers never do. Last month alone, our very own Blitz report by Samaya Bands, to this day, it remains undefeated. I believe now she's at about 8-0 with zero losses on the binary side. Drop a 8 if you understand. If you've been succeeding with Samaya, you haven't taken a single loss over the past month. And my brother, Mr. Zion Latham, currently on the shift report, he's 20-2. So that means as a conglomerate, they're currently 28-2. And the numbers might be a little bit higher because we haven't updated with this past week's sessions. But let's aim at 28-2 over wins inside of our entity just in the month of September and October alone. A winning record over the last month and a half. That means if you've positioned yourself with us, you've only taken two lessons. Drop a two if you understand this is proof that this is working, and the people who are a part of it are seeing the highest level of success. We're seeing lives change. We're seeing vehicles purchased. We're seeing houses paid off. We're seeing things differently from what they used to look like simply because people made the decision. And the thing I love the most about this is that we're helping real people see real results, real time. We're not saying that people are celebrities. We're not saying you have to be a rapper or a basketball player. We're showing you how to change your current situation in a system that works. Now, of course, everything we do is going to cost us something. So for access to 28-2, so for access to our live sessions, so for access to our information and our portals of education, there is a small startup investment of $299. Drop a three if you understand $299 is cheaper than most of our rent, cheaper than most of our car insurance, around some of our phone bills, cheaper than the last flight I just bought to St. Louis. And when I land on Southwest Airlines or Delta Airlines, they're not going to give me a thing in exchange. Drop a three if you understand Delta's not going to give me anything back when I touch the ground. They're not going to give me a 28-2 record. They're not going to ask me how my trading has been. They're not going to check in on my family or tell me happy birthday. But we make investments into things that we see value in every single day. So my question for you is not is 22.99 worth it? It's how much is your freedom worth? The biggest piece of advice I could ever give any of you all in the system is to never allow three figures to keep you from four, five, six, seven, or eight more. People pay bills every single day that keep them bound. This is the investment that can set you free. And if you believe that, drop the word free in the chat box because there are some people who see this information. You're excited, you're ready, but you're saying, how do I make it hands on? How do I make this for me? And one thing I love most about our community, I was talking to someone the other day. She said, wait, you all teach people online and in person? You all help people virtually and one on one. You all are a hybrid program. And I smiled and said yes, because this is not regular. Drop a two if you understand during COVID, the only way we had to learn was sitting behind a screen. The only way we could learn was somebody talking to us through a device. So here in Fire University, we say, you know what? The world is back open now. Let's help people one on one. Let's engage as a community and see where we can take this. So we do our learning real time, in person, helping real people see real wins. When you start making things like $100 a day, $200 from the market, taking money out of it, you won't be worried about a 299 investment. You won't be worried about a 185 recurring dividend because you know what it's worth.
Good job, Turbo. Good job.
I thought I told you time and time again that we won't stop. Back it show by show, I'm tryna triple and double the pot. Book for at least 6 figures, a show or more for him on out. 6 figures. Pooping at 25 rolls, all great interior whenever it's cloudy. Remember that bit of my go from chasing health and wealth, not clout. Baddies under my belt, I cook like a chef on Mr. Chow. Ain't been going no speeds, but I spend G's whenever I browse. Mink on all of my carpets at the.
And I'm going to pause that for just a moment, but drop a five if you're excited to know that you don't have to do it by yourself. We have multiple events coming up where you can learn this information in person. You're going to gather the skill set online when you plug in tonight. You're going to gain that understanding, but the in-person experience is where you're going to refine the skill set, where you're going to get a little bit better, where you can ask those one-on-one questions, where you can gain that clarity you need to take it one step further. Here inside of Fire, we understand that once you start making money, once you start succeeding, you're going to want to see the rest of the world. You're going to want to start living just a little bit more. So we said, why not travel with the people who helped us get wealthy? See, this October, in about a week, we're going to be heading as a family to St. Louis, Missouri for the Midwest Prosperity in Paradise. Drop a three if you understand that last video clip you watched was a experience where 3 rooms were set up with trading expertise for people to float back and forth and get an understanding of different types of concepts to where there's no option for them not to succeed. We said, you know what? People are having too much complexity. Let's make it simple in a fashion that makes the most understanding for us. And we're running it back again for part two, October 25th and 26th. Then next year, we're taking our efforts out to Bali, Indonesia on a family trip just to enjoy the world and see the excitement of what we've done and the futures we created for ourselves. Then in April, headed to Portugal just to see a little bit more of this beautiful earth that we were allowed to live in. Drop a four if you understand. Traveling is flipping the book on the world and allowing to turn those pages for the future that we desire. Here in Fire University, we don't think that just one person should be able to see success. We believe that everybody should be allowed to win because wealth is not just about numbers, it's about the lifestyle you live, the experiences you encounter, and the freedom that you attain. Now, another thing we're very big on here inside of Fire University is celebration. Drop a 3 in the chat box if you understand what you celebrate is what you accelerate. We celebrate things like birthdays. We celebrate things like retirement. We celebrate success. And this past weekend, we hosted our very own Fire Gala Part 2 to honor those who are growing, leading, and changing lives inside of our society. Because here, we know that when one person wins, everybody wins. And I want y'all to see this young lady, how excited she was for the success.
With the Fire Awards, we got Mr. Life of the Party, Mr. Top Trainer, Miss Big Bands, and Mr. For the People. All the ones who serve the most, getting the awards they deserve the most. Let me get a fire on 3. 1, 2, 3. Fire!
Drop a fire in the chat box if you can feel the intensity from that video alone. When you start winning with people who you got it out the mud with, there's no other feeling but to celebrate it, but to be proud of it. They say competition happens at the bottom, but at the top, we're collaborating. And on top of that, we're celebrating and showing nothing but appreciation for the people who got here together. And when I speak about hearing together, it makes me want to focus on our residual income program because we truly believe that nobody should eat alone. Drop a 3 in the chat box if you understand that success happens in numbers. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, that's where great things are going to take place. My favorite rapper, J. Cole, always says, "What good is first class if my people cannot sit?" So one thing I love about this entity is on top of making money in the markets, on top of stock wins, on top of going 28-2, on top of undefeated and binary, we also get an additional check every single Friday simply for impacting lives. Drop a 4 if you understand if something works for you, you're going to be excited to talk about it. If something is winning for you, you're going to want other people to win as well. If you're a natural leader on this call, every single person that you've encountered in life, you've served in some type of way. So when I started in this industry, I said, I'm going to serve everybody I know with this information because this is what's changed the game for me. The person who invited you to this call wants to see you successful. We want to see you acknowledged at the next gala. We want to see you having your first withdrawal. We want to see you winning in the market. But we know that begins with you making a decision. When you help other people succeed, you earn additional streams that build every single week. One clap may be loud, but a round of applause is louder. And here inside of Fire University, we're roaring with excitement for where things are going because of our residual income program. If you're a residual leader on this call, drop a 4 in the chat box because here in our society, we truly are creating the blueprint of success. These individuals on the screen have sacrificed time, have sacrificed resources, have sacrificed days and nights to make sure that they are not eating alone. And of course, Fire University has impacted a little over 500 lives, but a fraction of the individuals in our organization said, you know what? I don't want to do it by myself. The majority of our organization is customer based. That means that 92% of our entity is coming in, learning the information, applying the copy paste, utilizing the scanners, making their money, and going on about their lives. But the 8% who are go-getters and want a little bit more, they involve themselves in our residual income program and begin to see more levels of success. Drop a 5 if now, more than 20 minutes ago, you truly believe there is something here for everybody. We're the movers. We're the shakers. We're the difference makers who are taking responsibility for other people's success because we don't just create it, we multiply it here in Fire University. So, your next step, and I do want to give you all just a quick fair warning. When you get started with Fire University, you might start to believe in yourself beyond belief. You might start to take unnatural steps toward your higher self. You might start to speak a little bit differently, think a little bit differently, and approach life with a more positive outlook simply because of your surroundings. But most importantly, you're going to make a decision that's going to benefit the generations coming behind you. You're going to be that change maker in your family that everybody looks back to and says, thank you. Because my cousin Antonio did it, I know I can. Because my sister Sumatra did it, I know I can. Because my homie LA did it, I know that I can. Because Yana did, I can. Because Zion, Zamaya, Jess, because Jessica did it, I can. Because Dre and Claudia did it, I can as well. So the only question I really have to ask you all before I let you go is if not now, then when? If not this, then what? And if not you, then who? One thing my parents always taught me is that the best way to get in position is by getting in position. And the only way to truly receive information is by putting yourself in formation. I want you all to know this. You've been working for your money long enough. Now it's time for your money to work for you. So here at Fire University, we look forward to seeing you in our group chats. We look forward to seeing you on our trips. We look forward to seeing you in our communication. We look forward to seeing you in profit. But most importantly, we look forward to seeing you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. But here in Fire, we'll never look down on anybody unless we're willing to help them up. Have a good night, fam.